Welcome to this week's episode of Inside Baker. I'm your host, Wes Michael. This week we're going to be talking to Reverend Ira Despain about the Real Faith series, Emily Bai about Student Activities Council, and Downtown Tony Brown about the construction process downtown. But first we're going to talk to Professors Marc Carter and Erin Joyce about the Gen Ed Revision Committee. All right, Dr. Joyce, Dr. Carter, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
And you guys are here to talk to us a little bit about the General Education Task Force. It's responsible for revising the Gen Ed program here at Baker University. And wanted to talk to you guys about the history and the future and where you're at right now. First question, just talk a little bit about why do you guys want to revamp, or why is there a need to revamp the Gen Ed system here at Baker?
Well, I think a lot of us have come to the conclusion that the program that we have is very big, and what we've been doing is doing a lot of reading and research and looking at other universities and what they offer. Mm-hmm. And our Gen Ed program has many more credits than most other universities have. And a lot of there are some specific majors that students are having a very hard time getting in all the major requirements and the Gen Ed requirements. So we would just like to revisit some of the things we're doing. And we've also had this program in place for a while. And like all good things, change is good, change is beneficial.
Okay.
If you want to add to that.
Yeah, did you want to add anything?
That sounds good to me.
Okay. And talk to me about how long this revision process has been going on now.
I'll start this one. Technically, I suppose it's been going on since the summer of '05. The former dean, Jamie Comstock, appointed the first GET task force and charged them with designing 4 models of different general education programs that they might propose to the faculty.
Okay.
And those were not extraordinarily well received on the part of pretty much anyone outside of the people who had created them. And so we went and did a little research, hired a consultant to find out how you do this. And so we sort of stepped back from that. We brought in a consultant. Her name was Andrea Leskus. She came and talked to us about Gen Ed reform and essentially told us that the way we had gone about it was probably backwards, that really the way you want to do Gen Ed reform is to spend time thinking about the mission of the university, the values of the university, what it is that you want a Gen Ed program to do, and then you get about building it. But first you have to consult the faculty, and you have to consult the students, and you have to consult the staff to find out, why are we here? What's the point of our being here? And so that's kind of what happened after that summer.
Okay, and so that happened through the year of 2006,
2005,
2006.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then there was a Get 2 committee, the General Education Task Force Part 2. And Dr. Carter, you were one of the members of that committee.
I was.
And they were responsible for coming up with the missions and the values that you were just talking about?
Partly. I think the main job of that committee was to figure out how we should do the reform. Okay. What were the sorts of questions we should ask? How should we get answers? From whom should we get answers? What would the process be whereby we would go about building this new program? So that was the charge of that committee, simply to make a plan.
Okay. And now the Get 3 committee is in full swing, and you guys are in charge of acting out that plan. Tell me a little bit about how the Get 3 committee was formed and how the people on them were selected.
Well, we were elected at large by the faculty. A ballot was put together, and nominations were accepted, and we could either nominate ourselves or be nominated by someone. Okay. And then the faculty voted for 9 people at large, and then we ended up on Get 3.
Okay. And how far along are you guys now? How long have you been meeting?
Since about the beginning of the fall, or late summer. We met a couple of times late in the summer, but mostly we've been meeting regularly since the semester began.
Okay. And when you say you've been meeting regularly, how often do you guys meet?
We meet twice a week for an hour and a half each time, and then we're also committed to doing 3 hours of homework outside of meeting times, whether that be reading or coordinating discussions or preparing for meetings, preparing presentations, that type of thing.
So altogether it's about 6 hours a week of work?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And do you guys get any sort of compensation for your involvement on the committee?
We could either have a course release or we get overload pay for doing this. So yes, we're compensated.
Okay. So it's as if you're teaching an extra course or you get to teach one less course.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So your schedules aren't quite as busy.
Exactly.
And you guys have also been going on some conferences that talk about Gen Ed's revision processes. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Have you guys been on them before? I know you've got one coming up.
We do.
Right.
Last year we did get 2. The second committee, we went to a conference in Miami on gen ed reform. We haven't gone on, Get 3 hasn't gone on one yet.
Okay, but you do have one upcoming, don't you?
Right, after fall break.
After fall
Yeah.
break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're going to Maine.
And what do you guys do at a conference? Is it just a bunch of professorial people getting together talking about scholarly things?
Well, it kind of depends on the type of conference. Some conferences are more, one day is a workshop day, and we're signed up to do more, I'm hoping, sort of hands-on sessions where we get to actually work with our program and get to talk to other people about the program. Mm-hmm. And then I think the next day or two might be more sitting and listening to other people talking about their programs. But I think it's a little bit of both, but it depends on the nature of the conference. I think the one that we're going to is a little bit of both workshop and sessions.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how long of a conference is it?
Is it 2 days?
It's 2 days.
2 days.
2 days?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when we're talking about gen ed, obviously everybody at Baker has to fulfill all their gen ed priorities. But how can a revision of a gen ed system affect the school?
Wow. It can affect everything.
One of the interesting things that we've sort of been seeing in our reading is that at a place like Baker, at a small liberal arts college, the general education program has the opportunity to brand, if you want to use that word, brand the university, to sort of create something that is relatively unique to Baker and something that characterizes everything that Baker does. So we could, in a sense, figure out a way by exploring what's important to us and doing all this this background work that we've been doing, we might be able to build something that would instantiate what it is that we really think Baker should be and Baker is. So it can become the centerpiece of the university rather than people coming to university for a particular major. We might be able to attract people here just because of the general education program. I think that's kind of a cool thing.
Okay.
So it can be fundamentally important.
Okay, so talking about the fundamental importance of it and how it can embody what the university is, what are some of the concepts that you guys have been able to come up with that Baker University is or wants to be as defined by the faculty and that sort of thing?
Well, I think one thing that we found in our reading and our research is this whole idea of community building. And I think that's one thing that we've always felt very strongly about at Baker, that we're a community. And we would like to build that somehow into the gen ed so that all students have certain common experiences that they go through. So we have that a little bit now with the LA program and the FYE program, but we would like to maybe think about, and when I say this, everything's still on the table. We don't really know what the new gen ed is going to look like yet, but one thing that we've read a lot about is this whole idea of building community and giving students these common experiences. And we would like to know that students are talking about the things that they learn outside of class in the dorms or in the Wildcat Cafe outside of class, and we would like to provide those experiences for them. So I think community has always been a strength of ours, and we'd like to build on that with the gen ed program.
Okay. Talking about LA 101 and FYE, I mean, how large of a scope and a revision are we talking about with the gen ed system? Is it, I mean, and I know you all haven't gotten to the specifics of it yet, but would an LA program still be around, or do you know? Or
Well, that's, I think one thing that we're committed to is critical thinking. We know that the LA program has been very strong for us in the past, and it's been one thing that's made us distinctive, and I don't think any of us would want to see it go away. I can't think of any faculty member who would want to see the LA or the critical thinking program, the LA program, go away. I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of the program. We may have to change things, and obviously the whole faculty is going to have to decide this. We're not the ones making these decisions. We're really here to guide the faculty in making these decisions. So we can't really say, oh, this is going to stay the same, this is going to change, because we really don't know. The faculty will have to make those decisions.
Okay.
But critical thinking will remain.
Okay. Okay.